All right. Declan, you should have a vocabulary, a social studies that looks like this, vocabulary, and then one that says reading comprehension. And yours is going to be back to back. All right, so get those. And the one that says reading comprehension, here's what you guys are going to do. It says, read the passage and answer the questions below. What does it mean by read the passage? What does that mean? Read the passage. What does passage mean there? Zoe, what does that mean?
I think like text.
Say it again.
Like text.
Okay, read the text. Where is the text?
I'm that big.
Okay, so when it says read the passage and answer the questions below, it means read this, and then by using that, you're going to answer the questions down here. Yes?
No.
Okay. All right? So if while you're reading that, you come across something you're not sure of, raise your hand and I'll be walking around outside to help you out. Okay? So I can help you read it if you need help. All right? Then you're going to answer these questions. The first couple are going to be questions that are multiple choice questions. So you'll just find the choice that's the best answer based on what you read up here. But then look at this one. It says, how are a political map and a physical map different? Okay, now, it's important that whenever they ask a question like this, your answers should try to be good, complete, full answers. Now, my reading group worked on this the other day, and based on a little bit of how I saw they answered, I'm not positive they got the idea of writing out everything you can think of. Okay? But since it says, how are they different, if I can come up with 3 or 4 different ways that they're different, I should include all those ways that they're different, because that's all part of the answers, right? So look to see, how would those two kinds of maps be different? You're probably going to be able to find it up in that little reading passage that we have, okay? Because the passage up there said maps of many uses. And then it talks about a political map, and it talks about a physical map too. Okay? So all of the stuff you're going to need to do that, this page is right on this page. All right? Yes. Yes, so, but when you have questions about the next one, don't ask me. Okay, that'd be a good idea. The next one is a vocabulary. If you need to, you can totally use your book. Find these words in your book where they're like highlighted and in bold to help you out. Or, what do you call that thing in the back of the book that gives all the definitions of these words? What's that thing called?
Glossary.
What is that?
Glossary.
Good job. All right. The glossary. You can totally use the glossary to help you. So these 5 words will go into these 5 sentences. This is one of those things. Nobody should get this wrong. You ever next one? Next one, please. You don't wear your mask now, then we can't go outside, do it. Because it's silly to go outside if you don't wear your mask inside anyway, right? Okay, but then probably everybody else will be mad at you. So wear your mask inside. Who says, you know what, I kind of agree, nobody should get these wrong. Yeah, because you can just look the word up and see which one actually fits based on what that word means. You can also find it in the chapter. Okay? All right, then down here, this is the part you really need to pay attention to. This says, for number 6, because this one, it's a little bit tricky if you don't understand it. It says, write a paragraph to explain how a globe and a map are different. When it says write a paragraph, can I just say globes and maps are different because one's flat and one's round?
Yeah.
Is that a paragraph?
No.
That's not a paragraph, is it? It's just a sentence. So it wants me to write more than one sentence. Okay? Could you write that sentence I just said?
Yes.
Sure, but look at this thing they add. Ready? Watch. Use the words continent and distortion in your paragraph. Remember back when we talked about maps
Yes.
and how what distortion was on maps compared to globes? Okay, you need to use the word continent and distortion. If you need to, you can make this continents and make it plural. That's fine. It doesn't really change the word. Okay? And then use distortion. All right? So somewhere in that paragraph, when you're telling how globes and maps are different from each other, you have to use those two words. All right? When I'm writing something that's a paragraph, I try not to put too much information into one sentence. I like to make shorter sentences. Okay? So I'm not going to go, okay, I'm going to try to jam continent and distortion all into one sentence. You don't have to do that. Put it into little, smaller sentences that all make sense. Okay? All right, as far as doing the work on this, you're mostly using pages starting on, hang on, page 6. You're going to have some of the words are here, and then you're really going to kind of be using all the way through page number 19, okay? But you may not have to use your book a whole heck of a lot, okay? But 6 through 19 is kind of where the information for this is, okay? All right, grab your book. If you want to use the clipboard so that your paper doesn't blow away, get your clipboard. Make sure you have a pencil. As we go out, if you think you want your coat, stop and get your coat. And then when you're outside, I will give you your sheet.